Hey guys, this is Adam. As promised, I'm doing a video talking about the coronavirus and what I know about it. So, this information is coming from several different sources. Some insider testimonies, whistleblower testimonies, the information that was given to me by the entity that called itself Azakaya that contacted me when I was meditating, and just general information anyone could find on the internet. So, the coronavirus. First thing I want to say about the coronavirus is that it's not the flu like everyone else is saying. It's not, I've heard some people say, hey, if you've gotten the flu before, you've probably gotten the coronavirus. That's not true at all. This is a completely new virus. It's completely new to the human species. We haven't built up any kind of immunity to it whatsoever. And humanity's never come into contact with this before. It was created as a bioweapon from the biotech company in Wuhan. I don't recall the name of it. It's the one that's got the green umbrella logo, just like in Resident Evil. Yeah, that same company. They're the one, that biotech company is the one that created the virus. The virus was created as a weapon, and the way that it started to spread was one of the workers from there was intending to sell the virus and to the Chinese, basically. And so he had a vial with him, and he met the contact in a heavily populated area in a marketplace because he figured he'd be able to slip away into the crowd quickly in case anything happened. Apparently the deal went south. The guy ended up getting shot. In the process, he dropped the vial. The vial cracked, and the virus was released. And that's how it started. It was not started by people eating animals or whatever. So, also, there appears to be two different strains of this virus. One that's much more deadly than the others. And you can see this because certain areas have a higher death rate than others, certain infected areas. Italy, for example, has definitely been infected with the worse virus. And I'm pretty sure they contracted it from Iran. But anyway, so the thing about this virus is that it is going to get worse. It's going to shut down a lot of businesses. It's going to shut down travel. And it's going to mutate. So we also have to be careful because 5G, the new internet they're going to roll out, the new high-speed internet for cell phones, actually has an effect on this virus, and it will have an effect on the virus. And once that is implemented, that's when things are going to shift into high gear. So, like I said, it appears that there's two different strains of this virus, and I believe what's happening is that the deadly virus was released in the manner I had expressed earlier, and they're also releasing a more benign version of the virus through chemtrails, so that it can spread faster, and so that they can use that to carry out their agenda in the manner that they need to. So there's a lot of things that are going on behind the scenes. The cabal has been trying to carry out their depopulation agenda for years, to further the New World Order agenda. And so basically, they've made several attempts in the past, many of which have failed. You can also watch one of my videos on vaccines that I've done, talking about the swine flu scare that happened in 2012. That was a time when they were intending to cause a pandemic with the bird flu. That ended up failing, and you can watch that video to find out what happened, and also find out why I'm completely against vaccines. But that's another part of the agenda, is they're hoping that this virus will be able to instigate mandatory vaccinations for people, which they've been trying to do for a while, because they want to be able to affect your body, your biological computer. So we are going to see an increase of deaths from this virus. But on the other hand, the white hats and the people in the intelligence communities that are fighting for humanity and want to free humanity are also using this virus to their advantage. And what they plan on doing is utilizing the events to drain the swamp, basically, as Trump would say. They've destroyed a number of deep underground military bases so that they can't hide there. This is what's been going on with a lot of the earthquakes that have been happening in like areas like New York on the East Coast. They are also going to utilize the shutdown of travel to make sure that they cannot escape, and start to systematically take out, one by one, the cabal, the elite politicians that have been involved with pedophilia, Satanism, and sex trafficking, and a lot of the Hollywood elites that have been involved in the same stuff. And this is going to be a big shock for a lot of people, especially when they start to see a lot of the big-name A-list celebrities that they are fond of taken down for these crimes. It's going to be a shock to a lot of people. Big names. People, names like Katy Perry and Taylor Swift and Angelina Jolie, Brad Pitt, Tom Hanks. It's unfortunate, I know. People feel like they know these people, but in reality, you don't know these people. You see their faces on TV, and you watch the characters that they play, but you don't know what these people are doing at 2 o'clock in the morning behind closed doors. So this is the reality that we're living in. Like I said, it's going to be a shock to a lot of people, but it's necessary. Also, this is going to have a big effect on the economy and trade. A lot of that is going to get shut down, and it appears that the plan is for Trump to use that to return us to the gold standard, which will be a huge help for the economy. Like I said, the cabal have been trying to carry out their depopulation agenda for many years and not been successful. But because basically what's been going on, and this is the information that was given to me by Azakiah, a part of it, was that there's basically been a battle going on between the positive forces, service to others, and the negative forces, service to self, where each time the cabal intends to carry out their depopulation agenda, if the service to others, positive entities, can foresee the outcome of what's going to happen and they don't like it, they'll stop it, and have stopped it several times, which is the case of what happened in 2012 with the video that I did on vaccines. That the reason all those events unfolded the way that they did is because they were influenced by positive entities that did not want the cabal to carry out their agenda in that way, okay? So, but they have to do something. There needs to be something that instigates or initiates this transition period, and this is it. So, for whatever reason, the positive forces have decided that this is what they're going to allow to initiate this transition period. Hopefully that means casualties will be kept at a minimum. But Hezekiah also told me that there's a number of other things to be aware of, look forward to in the future, is that earth changes are going to happen. There's going to be a lot of different earth changes that are man-made. They have the ability to change the weather, and they're going to use that to their advantage as much as they can. So basically, the game's being played out now. The chess pieces are being moved. Everything is in motion. This is the catalyst that everyone's been waiting for as far as kicking off this whole situation. So from here on out, we're going to see a lot of big changes. We're going to see a lot of, things like disclosure, talking about contact with extraterrestrials, the secret space program that's been going on. They're going to start talking about free energy devices that they've had for over 100 years. They probably won't word it that way, obviously, but yeah, so, a lot of the white hats and the people that are fighting for humanity, they want this information out. They're just trying to strategically find a way to do that without it being such a huge shock to the public, this is a big part of what the Space Force is all about. Trump is fully aware that there's a secret space program. He's a billionaire. He rubs shoulders with a lot of powerful people that have the money and, fund a lot of these operations that are going on. He knows that there's a secret space program. He knows that we're exploring the stars already. So the whole point of him creating this Space Force is to provide a platform to start rolling out the disclosure agenda. Trump is going to be reelected. There's no question about that. Not only just, I don't only know that just from the different sources of information that I've been given, but it's just obvious that Democrats don't have a single candidate that could even compare to Trump right now at this point. And I know a lot of you don't like Trump. I don't necessarily like the guy either. But it's undeniable that he is making a lot of positive changes for this country. And anyone could see that if they just simply pay attention to his actions and his presidential his moves as president. Don't listen to what he says because he's a fucking idiot and says a bunch of dumb shit. But he is making positive changes, and you can't trust the fucking mainstream media. They've always been liars since day one. They're controlled by 5 corporations, and those corporations are all pretty much heavily controlled by the Rothschilds. So whatever they want you to know is what you know, what they tell you. And Trump is definitely not a friend of the Rothschilds. So anyway, so things to look forward to is lots of big changes. The situation is going to get worse. No question about it. A lot more people are going to die. A lot more quarantines are going to happen. They might try to initiate martial law if it gets bad enough. But I think they're going to try to avoid that. I'm pretty sure that the the positive side is going to try to avoid that happening as much as they can. But travel is going to shut down. A lot of stores are going to shut down. The economy is going to take a huge drop. And as long as the right moves are made, there could be a lot of positive outcomes from this virus that's going on. We'll just have to wait and see how the chess pieces are moved from here on out. But this is it. This is the beginning of it all. This is how it starts. So get ready for rapid changes. Yeah. I hope a lot of you guys are ready for this, because it's gonna get pretty crazy here pretty soon. Over the next decade or so, we're gonna start seeing massive changes in our society. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Let's see. Is there anything else? Okay, so this entity named Azakaya also told me that that the United States in particular is going to be affected least by this virus, at least as far as the major countries go. That doesn't mean that nothing is going to happen in the United States. That doesn't mean that nothing crazy is going to happen here. There's definitely going to be some crazy things that happen in this country. But as far as the virus goes, the outbreak is not going to be as bad here as it is in, say, places like Italy or Australia or China, obviously. And by the way, this was China attacking its own people. China is very heavily influenced by the cabal, by the West, and was probably under orders to do so. So that's the situation. That's what I know. That's the information that I have. So thanks for listening, and buckle up.